Author's perspective. William has been what he calls a medical medium since he was a child. His gift helped to diagnose his grandmother's lung cancer. He has developed and learned to apply this gift over the years, including with individuals who see him for health consultations. He presents his information as truth, distinct from passing trends and medical establishment beliefs that are erroneous, but presented as Medical Medium Liver Rescue answers to eczema, psoriasis, diabetes, strep, acne, gout, bloating, gallstones, adrenal stress, fatigue, fatty liver, weight issues, SIBO, and autoimmune disease by Anthony William, published in 2018. Medical Medium Liver Rescue by best-selling author and self-labeled Medical Medium Anthony William is a comprehensive guide to understanding liver support and rejuvenation. Since he was a child, William has received divine information from what he calls Spirit of the Most High. In Medical Medium Liver Rescue, William shares a deep healing wisdom and illuminates the profound role that the liver plays in maintaining health and fighting disease, including chronic illness. Today, millions of people in the United States have some form of chronic illness, such as diabetes, heart disease, and irritable bowel syndrome. As much as modern medicine has advanced in recent decades, chronic illness often remains a mystery to doctors. Science has not discovered the full scope of the body's functioning and capabilities, and this is particularly true for the liver. People are aware of other organs in their bodies, like the heart or colon, but most people don't think too much about their livers. They don't have to. Until there's a massive breakdown in functioning, the liver's incredible capabilities are not readily apparent. Although the liver's vital role in maintaining health may not be acknowledged, it works tirelessly to ensure human beings stay in optimal health. The liver performs many critical functions. First and foremost, it processes fats and guards the pancreas. The liver also has the ability to store glycogen and glucose, as well as a host of vitamins, minerals, and nutrients. The liver taps these stored materials when certain elements are lacking in the diet. In addition, this organ neutralizes dangerous toxins and other materials, ensuring that blood is clean before it gets pumped to the heart. To guard against viruses that threaten overall health, the liver has its own complex immune system, which guards against viruses and other invaders so deep below the surface that the medical community is unaware of its existence. The liver also possesses an innate intelligence, including the ability to anticipate when it might need to produce more bilirubin to help break down fat, for example. Unfortunately, the modern lifestyle is not liver-friendly. Stress, environmental toxins, high-fat diets, and alcohol, drug, and medication consumption all place an undue burden on the liver. Regardless of a particular health diagnosis, many physical symptoms, such as bloating, fatigue, and brain fog, can be traced back to the liver. However, most doctors are unaware of this link. They base treatment of symptoms on medical research, which is founded on theories and is not foolproof. Often, doctors formulate a best guess interpretation based on manual examination, imaging, and diagnostic tests. In many cases, doctors can only offer possible answers, not absolute ones. For example, medical science often attributes weight gain to a slowing metabolism, with the thyroid, which controls metabolism, held as the likely culprit. However, 95% of the time, thyroid problems are the result of the body carrying too heavy a viral load. The liver works to disarm viruses and store fat, but over time, if the liver isn't properly taken care of, it becomes sluggish and loses this capability. Fortunately, supporting the liver with proper nutrition and supplements can help to reverse various physical conditions. The liver is designed to regenerate, but after years of shouldering heavy, burdensome loads, the liver needs nutritional interventions to assist in this process. Many foods support optimal liver function, including wild blueberries, apples, asparagus, Brussels sprouts, and more. In addition to informing dietary choices that will improve health, learning about the liver helps to change the way that people conceive of this truly remarkable organ. Knowing that the liver can, say, bury destructive viruses in its deepest layers to keep them from spreading around the body, might make people more eager to provide the liver with nourishing sustenance. People might think twice before indulging in wine, steaks, ice cream, and other foods that make the liver's job harder, and instead think of the liver as a staunch ally, always there in the body's time of need. The liver is more than an organ. The liver carries within it vast wisdom that is closely linked to spiritual, physical, and emotional well-being. Respecting the liver will lead to heightened peace and well-being within, and this peace and well-being will radiate out into the wider world. Key insights. 1. The liver has the profound ability to adapt to many different situations. 2. High-fat diets are excessively taxing on the liver. 3. Many physiological aspects of liver function remain a mystery to medical science. 4. Natural sugars are an essential nutritional support for liver functioning. 5. The liver disarms toxic materials, such as heavy metals and pesticides, so that they don't damage the bloodstream. 6. The liver's ability to disarm and detain environmental toxins decreases significantly starting in middle age. 7. The liver can affect emotional states. 8. Cell renewal is helpful in regenerating the liver, but is most effective when people are actively taking steps to support liver health and functioning. Analysis. Key Insight 1. The liver has the profound ability to adapt to many different situations. The liver responds quickly to the body's needs, plays a major role in maintaining health, and even works to aid digestion. It breaks down fats by releasing the right amount of bile, so that the fat can be used as an energy source. This helps the body because excess fat in the bloodstream means that there's less oxygen, which is required for brain and heart function. Science has begun to measure ways in which natural supplements can support the liver's hyperresponsiveness, as demonstrated most recently in a 2018 study in the PLOS One journal on the effects that royal jelly supplements have on the liver of rats experiencing chronic stress. 2 types of stress, restraint and cold, result in heightened adrenal hormones and glycemia, or glucose in the blood. Excess hormones and glucose lead to oxidative stress, which breaks down cellular function in the liver. Researchers in Brazil studied how royal jelly supplements could improve hormone levels and glycemia after a 14-day period of ingestion. They discovered that stressed rats that were administered the supplements not only had improvements in these areas, but they also lost weight. Researchers also found that the royal jelly boosted their antioxidant capacity, which pointed to improved health. This study underscores the liver's unique ability to adapt and heal, even in the face of damaging conditions, such as stress. As more studies examine the ways in which liver function can be improved with natural supplements, physicians will better understand how to advise patients to support their livers. Key Insight 2. High-fat diets are excessively taxing on the liver. Consuming high-fat foods, such as French fries or steak, puts added stress on the liver, as one of its main functions is to protect the pancreas. The pancreas is a less sturdy organ than the liver. Its main function is to produce insulin, a hormone that regulates blood sugar. If the pancreas is overloaded with fats via the bloodstream, it produces more insulin. Overproduction of insulin can lead to insulin resistance, which can lead to diabetes. Therefore, eating a high-fat diet can be extremely detrimental to liver function over time, even if those fats are sourced from healthy foods. Even a lone meal high in fat can compromise liver function, as researchers in the German Diabetes Center discovered in a 2017 study published in the Journal of Clinical Investigation. Researchers looked at metabolic functions of the liver, such as breaking down fats, in 14 lean and healthy subjects after they had ingested a single high-fat meal containing a large dose of palm oil. Researchers also looked at the same function in mice that ingested palm oil. They found that insulin sensitivity decreased by 25% overall and by 15% in the liver, for both animal and human subjects. Insulin sensitivity protects the body against disease, so the results show how damaging even a single intake of high fat can be on the liver. Researchers also found that hepatic triglycerides, which are markers of cardiovascular disease, increased dramatically by 35%. Lowered insulin sensitivity and heightened hepatic triglycerides can lead to the development of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, or NAFLD. If consuming fat in a single sitting can result in this type of adverse effect on the liver, the study results demonstrate just how detrimental a high-fat diet can be over time, as it places undue burden on the liver to process fats. Key Insight 3. Many physiological aspects of liver function remain a mystery to medical science. The intricate structures of the liver aren't known in their entirety. For example, the Spirit of the Most High knows that the liver has tissue around its perimeter that stores glucose, yet medical research has yet to discover it. The liver has the ability to produce chemical compounds that are far more advanced than science has been able to prove. Because the science is limited, the ways that doctors treat physical ailments, many of which originate in the liver, are limited. Doctors are not trained to respect the role the liver plays in human health, and this can put both doctors and patients at a grave disadvantage, as the hypothetical example of Kevin, a stage 4 colon cancer patient, shows. Though Kevin's cancerous tumor originated in the large intestine, he developed several lesions on his liver. After many months of chemotherapy, Kevin wound up in the hospital because the pain in his liver became too great to bear. Doctors were focused on alleviating the pain with heavy medications, such as fentanyl and other drugs. They searched for the right dosage, experimenting with different amounts of combinations. While the doctors spent their time observing the effects of the drugs on Kevin's physical and mental well-being, they told him that he could eat anything he wanted, even sugar-laden cookies. The doctors were seemingly unaware that to process these heavy drugs, Kevin needed his liver to be operating as best as it could in its current condition. Had they been aware, they might have suggested he eat liver-friendly foods, such as Brussels sprouts. Kevin also had a friend who was versed in alternative therapies. She understood that he needed to get his liver working at full force to have a chance at recovery. So, she suggested he eat beets, not knowing that beets are not as effective as, say, wild blueberries, or that most beets come embedded with pesticides. Eating them would do far more harm than good. Without this knowledge, his doctors and well-meaning friend were unable to provide guidance that would actually help Kevin. His condition worsened, and he eventually died of his cancer. It's not a given that he would have lived with proper liver support, but this example shows just how much of a disadvantage it is when health practitioners don't grasp how the liver works or its importance in healing. Key Insight 4. Natural sugars are an essential nutritional support for liver functioning. Some trendy diets suggest that limiting all sugars, processed and natural, will improve physiological functioning. This is false. While processed sugars are not healthy for the body, natural sugars are. This is because natural sugars are vital in the absorption of nutrients. Natural sugars bond to important nutrients that cannot be delivered and absorbed by other means. Dietitian Kim Hoffman stresses the importance of sugar intake in a 2013 article for Health 24. Hoffman points out that healthy natural sugars, such as those from fruits, are vital for overall physiological functioning, including tasks performed by the liver, as they provide the body with glucose that is converted into energy. In contrast, table sugar, composed of 2 monosaccharides, has no nutritional value and can compromise health when eaten in excess. In fact, the World Health Organization recommends eating no more than 10% of daily caloric intake in processed sugar. Unfortunately, many processed foods have sugars hidden in them, so it's hard to determine how much sugar one is eating. All carbohydrates turn into sugar, so it's important to choose the kinds of carbohydrates that release glucose slowly, such as high-fiber bread. Portion control is also important in making sure that the body has the right amount of sugar to maintain health. Sugar itself is not the enemy. Ignorance of the role natural sugars play in normal functioning will ultimately result in poor physiological functioning. Key Insight 5. The liver disarms toxic materials, such as heavy metals and pesticides, so that they don't damage the bloodstream. The liver deals with toxins using 2 strategies: disarmament and detainment. Toxic material contains an ionic charge that the liver is able to counteract by releasing a special chemical compound that coats toxins, decreasing their ability to disrupt the body's electrical charge before it negatively affects other areas of the body. If the liver weren't able to do this, the toxins would enter the bloodstream and impair nutrient absorption, oxygen flow, and cells required for immune system functioning. Though detoxing has become a buzzword in recent years, most detox programs aren't supported by an understanding of physiology. and, in particular, what the liver already does to maintain clean, healthy blood, as registered dietitian Rachel Null points out in a 2018 article for Healthline. A recent fad has emerged of adding charcoal supplements to tea as part of a detox diet, but Null says that there is no scientific proof of the benefits of such detox diets. Instead, she suggests becoming aware of ways to protect the liver to allow it to perform its basic functions. Simple steps like not having unprotected sex, which poses a risk for contracting hepatitis B and C, and not drinking to excess, can go a long way in helping the liver perform at optimal levels, allowing it to effectively address other toxins. Avoiding cigarette smoke is another common-sense fix. Having more knowledge about how the liver functions, rather than relying on the latest fad detox diet, can help people support their livers and improve health. Key Insight 6. The liver's ability to disarm and detain environmental toxins decreases significantly starting in middle age. When the liver is overloaded with toxins, its capacity to perform other functions is diminished. The liver has the ability to change shape to accommodate this growing storage of toxic material, but when the toxic buildup becomes too great, the liver sends out messages, in the form of symptoms associated with middle age, to signal that it needs support. According to a 2018 Harvard Health letter, fatty liver disease, which is a product of the liver slowing down when it becomes overloaded with toxins and other invaders, occurs primarily in middle age, though technically speaking, anyone of any age can get fatty liver disease. Rates of fatty liver disease are fast on the rise. As many as 20% of adults in the U.S. are estimated to have some form of fatty liver disease. This is alarming, as the disease was previously associated with people who drank too much alcohol, but now the general populace is more susceptible to acquiring fatty liver disease. The rising rates of fatty liver disease are tied, in large part, to the rising rates of obesity and diabetes. What many might think of as excess weight gained in middle age could actually be the early signs of liver failure. Fortunately, people who have gained excess weight can set their sights on losing it in a measured manner, meaning no fasting or quick fixes, which will help to stabilize and even revitalize the liver. Key Insight 7. The liver can affect emotional states. After the brain and thyroid, the liver is the third brain in the body, with the ability to store memory and emotions. Because of its heavy burdens, the liver can become angry or sad, emotions that people are actually able to feel, even if they don't attribute these emotions to their upset liver. Mood disorders, such as seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, are actually signs of an overburdened liver. Take the hypothetical example of Dana, a middle-aged woman suffering from depression. At the height of a cold, blustery winter, she reaches for comfort foods, such as chicken wings and hamburgers. Soon, she finds that she is more tired than usual, despite drinking several cups of coffee per day. Her mood is plummeted. She attributes this to the recent loss of her grandmother and problems at her job. She misses her grandmother and is unfulfilled in her work life. Her whole world seems cold and gray. In time, she has trouble getting out of bed in the morning. On weekends, she often stays in bed all day, unable to move. A concerned friend suggests that she get on an antidepressant, but Dana doesn't want to do that unless it's absolutely necessary. So, she makes an appointment to see a naturopathic doctor who puts her on a gentle detox, which limits processed sugars, fats, and coffee, and emphasizes green leafy vegetables and healthy fruits, including apples. She starts taking a dandelion supplement and drinking nettle tea, no natural detoxifiers. Per her naturopathic doctor's orders, she also starts drinking more water. Within a matter of days, Dana starts to feel like her old self again. She feels like this is a miraculous turnaround. Her sadness and overall fatigue state have essentially vanished. With more energy, she is able to process the loss of her grandmother with ease. The grief is not debilitating. She is also more motivated to brainstorm creative ways to find more satisfaction in her work life. The nutritional intervention that Dana adopts proves that her depression and sadness didn't originate in her brain. They were emotions that her liver was telegraphing out to her. Had she not made more positive, healthy lifestyle choices, Dana might still be battling with an unhappy liver, feeling its damaging effects. Key Insight 8. Cell renewal is helpful in regenerating the liver, but is most effective when people are actively taking steps to support liver health and functioning. It's a myth that cells renew themselves every 7 years. While cells are able to regenerate, the timeline for this renewal is not set, as there are several elements that contribute to cell renewal, such as stress and dietary intake. What's more, old damaged cells and toxins can infect new cells. This is why it's imperative to eat well, take appropriate supplements, and limit toxic exposure. Such healthy choices can aid in the renewal process. Stem cells play an important role in boosting health, as Dr. Joel Kahn points out in a 2018 article for Mind Body Green. Stem cells are cells that have the capacity to develop into other cells, including specialized ones for organ function. Stem cells are restorative and can act as a repair system for parts of the body. There are medically formal ways to harvest stem cells, including through extracting them from the blood. To help regenerate cells outside of the doctor's office, Kahn recommends consumption of antioxidant-rich foods like pomegranates and green tea, along with acute, strenuous exercise. These methods boost stem cell production and can help to support cells so that they don't become damaged to the point of infecting new cells. Kahn's suggestions to be mindful of health by eating a primarily plant-based diet support overall liver health, resulting in a happy, functioning body. Important people. Anthony William is a medical medium and the author of several best-selling books, including Medical Medium. Author's style. William writes passionately about the remarkable role that the liver plays in supporting health. He includes detailed information about the physiology of the body, liver function, and nutrition. He is well-versed in the biology that the medical establishment bases treatment upon. He uses metaphors and anecdotes to illustrate his ideas, which he presents as truth, even if he is providing information that has not been scientifically proven. For example, based on information he received from Spirit of the Most High, William describes cells, which he calls Prime cells, that assist the liver in managing its storage of toxins, viruses, and bacteria. This is just one example of information that William has gleaned from his medium ability rather than scientific research. Benefiting from this wealth of information would require a leap of faith for some readers, even though William's knowledge is extensive and technical. In addition to a foreword by Dr. Christine Northrup and a note from William, there are 41 chapters divided into 4 sections: Your Liver's True Calling, The Unseen Storm, Liver Salvation, and The Call to Battle. Some of these chapters are devoted to specific diseases and conditions. He also includes an extensive index. Much of the information is repeated throughout, presumably so that readers can absorb the most salient points regarding liver function. He includes an easy-to-follow 9-day liver rescue plan, as well as lists of liver-friendly foods and supplements and recipes for liver health. Author's perspective. William has been what he calls a medical medium since he was a child. His gift helped to diagnose his grandmother's lung cancer. He has developed and learned to apply this gift over the years, including with individuals who see him for health consultations. He presents his information as truth, distinct from passing trends and medical establishment beliefs that are erroneous, but presented as gospel. William's overall mission is to bring more peace into the world, and he believes that the way to do this is to take care of the liver. If every person treated the liver as a best friend instead of ignoring it, he believes that spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical health would follow. Additionally, he views the Spirit of the Most High as an expression of God's compassion for all human beings. Therefore, the information contained in William's books is meant to deliver the truth about the human body gently to all beings, so that they may take care of their livers and live with heightened compassion themselves. This has been InstaRead reporting on Medical Medium Liver Rescue. Answers to eczema, psoriasis, diabetes, strep, acne, gout, bloating, gallstones, adrenal stress, fatigue, fatty liver, weight issues, SIBO, and autoimmune disease by Anthony William. Narrated by Sam Scholl. Copyright 2018 by InstaRead. Production copyright 2018 by InstaRead.